I'm very proud of my dad, but there's not so many people that aren't connected with football that remember him. People that are connected with the club do, obviously, friends and family. Yeah, it was really nice. It's quite proud of him.
Right then, this is the home changing room, Jenny and Sue.
Oh wow!
And
amazing, isn't it? It is.
It's
I like how they all have their own coat hangers and names and things.
not like in your dad's day.
Oh no.
No.
Nothing like that.
We didn't see a lot of him as a manager because at the same time, my parents had a pub in Leicester, which was opposite the prison, which was a bit of a sportsman's pub. So lots of people came in that we knew, met lots of people there. He didn't have a lot to do with us growing up because he was always busy doing different things. But he was very strict on what we did. And if I went to a football match with him, which I did, went to the first floodlit match, I think it was, I'm not sure whether I'm saying the right ground, I think it might have been Wolves, but I'm not certain. But you weren't allowed to shout at players or stand up and pass your opinion. You had to sit and watch and take note of what was happening. So that was interesting. You could discuss it with him afterwards, and then he'd say to you, well, you're talking a load of rubbish, aren't you? But then when you don't take football up until you're about 15, you have a lot to learn in those few years that he was with us when I was watching with him. So it was good. A great honour, to be honest.
Well, we have a bit of a surprise for you, Jenny, because it is your birthday today. I don't know whether I'm allowed to say what birthday it is, but it is your birthday today. Yeah, and what the club would like to do is to give you this signed shirt. It's signed by the cup winners, the FA Cup winners, and that's the present side. Yes. But then on the back, as an echo of, your father's great contribution to the club as manager of Leicester City in 1949 when we went to the cup final, we thought we'd put that on the back as well. So we have, your father started it all off. Your father started off the great FA Cup tradition at Leicester City, and it sort of culminated in the win with these players a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, he'd have been over the moon. You would have got anything you wanted out of him on that day. He would be so pleased because he said it's one of the most prestigious things that you can do in football is to win the FA Cup. So he agreed with it entirely. He would have loved it.
It's an amazing story. So my granddad obviously played for, captained, and then went on to manage Leicester City. Took them to the 1949 Cup final. Unfortunately, didn't win, but still first time that Leicester was there. So yeah, it's kind of Leicester City's always been in the blood. So I've always supported Leicester City. They've always been my club, and I've followed them in various rounds of the cup. Previously was at Villa Park against Spurs, so I vividly remember that. And of course, I was there at Wembley when we won.
You got his name off the back.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I was thinking my granddad. Sorry, I'm going to be emotional. Yes, I was. I had his. This is his watch chain. So I have half of it. My cousin had the other half of it, and I was just conscious really of his presence there, and thinking about him and what it must have felt like for him to lead that team out to that FA Cup final. And also just thinking about my mum was there at that final in 1949. And I was just so lucky to be there, lucky to have a ticket, lucky to be surrounded not by a full stadium, but still amazing supporters and a great atmosphere. So yeah, I was thinking a lot about him.